What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This is Decoding with Cody. Today is March 9th, 2026, and we have a follow-up video to go with the video from 2 days ago. And if you guys are in the live stream chat, give me that thumbs up so I can know the sound's coming through. That way I can not be talking to myself. And I knew who was going to give me that thumbs up. It's Coffee Girl. Thank you, Coffee Girl. Appreciate you so much. Hello to Geocentric. Hello to XX. Hello to Cosmin. Hello to Ron. Daniel. Hope you guys are great. Hello to Betty. Thanks for tuning in this evening, guys. I appreciate your support and your likes and your views, as always. I really do. And so, yeah, we'll give it a couple minutes, and then we'll get into the info. So raise your hand in the chat if you guys remember my video from 2 days ago talking about the significance of the date March 8th. And it was a date I was looking for about a month now. And yeah, we kind of got what I was looking for. So we're going to go over kind of what I talked about in that video and how it kind of manifested. And a lot of you guys already know, basically, you guys are probably already smart enough. Most of my subscribers are super smart. And you guys are already pretty much on top of it. But I got a lot to show here in connection to that, just how crazy it was, what I talked about just a day before. And then again, we didn't know this was going to happen. This prince, or becoming the supreme ruler. And I had no idea this was going to happen. I probably should have thought about this, honestly, guys. I probably should have been even more accurate with my prediction, but I might play the video so this is, let me just play this short clip while people are getting in here. Let me just play the short clip from my video on the 7th, and to show you guys what it was that I was talking about and just how it manifested. I think you guys will be able to hear this sound. Let me turn it up a bit. I'm just going to play this short clip, and then we're going to get into it. Here we go. So what do I think might actually happen tomorrow? Do I think that William will die tomorrow? No, I think it's probably going to be later. But are we going to get a death tomorrow that connects to this? And I want you guys to keep a mental note that if there's something that happens tomorrow that connects to this, I mean, are we going to get, I mean, Donald Trump is connected to the king stuff. Is something going to happen to Donald Trump tomorrow? Possible. I'm not saying it will, but we have to keep our options open. Is something going to happen to one of the kings in the Middle East tomorrow? Or are we going to get a death of a leader in Iran or a leader in one of the Arabic nations? I'm just saying tomorrow, remember. All right, so that's the clip where I really set out the fact that I didn't expect William to become king, although William is part of this, and I think this is a signal for William becoming king, as we've pointed out already. I pointed out that I thought that it probably could translate to the Middle East. And I don't know why I didn't think more about Iran. If I would have thought more about Iran, I probably would have been able to figure this out even more accurately. But the point is that March 8th was a huge day connected to the kings and the princes and the royal families. And again, this is the date we had marked on the calendar for something to go down, at least connected to this. And we definitely got our connection for sure, which is why I titled this video, The Clue That We Were Looking For. So please hit that like button if you guys enjoy the content. As always, we got 97 watching. Thank you. And we got 27 likes. Thank you guys so much for all that you do in the videos and watching. And I appreciate you guys showing up. So anyways, let's get into the presentation. And this isn't going to be, hopefully not as long as the last video. I don't got so much to share, but definitely have some interesting things to talk about. So let's just start with the slide that I had for March 7th. The video you guys watched on March 7th was about the 42-month reign of King Charles being on March 8th, okay, 42-month reign. This is the slide from that video. Again, this is from the video on March 7th. This was the slide I showed you. And I was talking about WrestleMania, WWE, which has all the characters on it that connect to the royal families. If you go to my slides here, I showed these slides, how WrestleMania is on the 19th of April, right? And that's 42 days. That's 42 days after the 42-month reign of King Charles, which was yesterday on March 8th. And of course, that's WrestleMania 42. And of course, the beast out of the sea reigns for 42 months. Charles equals 42. So when I was doing this decode, I probably could have easily figured out that this was going to be all about Iran. And in fact, in the beginning of the video, I talked about Iran and the 42 because Iran equals 42, war equals 42. But what happened yesterday on March 8th was the perfect riddle to go with this theme. What's the news? Well, we have the office, the guy that basically he become the king, right? The supreme ruler. I mean, it's not officially the king, right? But he's officially the supreme ruler, the grand Ayatollah of Iran. He's the prince, okay? And a lot of these articles call him the shadow prince, okay? And this is perfect because my whole video on the 7th was about Prince William and King Charles. And again, Prince William, Prince of Wales, the dragon, the beast, the dragon, all that stuff. But now the country that equals 42 gets the supreme ruler exactly 42 months after King Charles takes over. And I mean, remember, in Gematria, Iran equals 42, guys. And they're calling him the Shadow Prince, which is even better because we have the connection with the Shadow Prince. But here's the kicker, guys. What's the birthday of this guy? I don't even know how to say his name. Mojtaba Khamenei? I don't even know how to say this. I should probably look this up. But anyway, look at his birthday, guys. Look at the guy's birthday. I was talking about King Charles. I was talking about the 8th, March 8th. He assumes office on March 8th, 42 months after King Charles. And what's the guy's birthday? His birthday is September 8th, guys. The day King Charles became king. I mean, if I would have looked into this guy and seen his birthday, if I would have even looked at him once, I probably would have said, oh, wow, this is probably what's going to happen on March 8th. What are the odds? I'm talking about this with King Charles. And the guy who takes over yesterday, the prince, he has the same birthday as the day King Charles took over. I mean, how perfect. How perfect it was. And again, just so you guys can see, it was exactly his birth, from his birth to the day King Charles became king when his mother died. It was his 53rd birthday. It was his 53rd birthday when King Charles became king. And now, again, 42 months later, this guy takes over on the 42nd month of King Charles' reign when Charles equals 42. And again, that's 42 days before WrestleMania on April 19th. Now, why is this so perfect? Because what's the birthday? Whose birthday is April 19th? The day of WrestleMania 42. Here's the big kicker, guys. This is the most mind-blowing part of the decode right here. This just shows everything and how it's connected. Look at this. So this is my slide from the 7th, right? But I've upgraded it and I've added in the actual event. So just pay attention to what I added in here. Look at this. So in the last slide, I had the March 8th date from 2 days ago, right? And I had the WrestleMania 42 over here. I had the 42 months from King Charles. And what happens on the 42nd month? The guy from Iran, which equals 42, with the last name Khamenei equals 42, like Charles, takes over, and it happens exactly 42 months after King Charles takes over in the country Iran, right? And his name is Khamenei, and Khamenei equals 42 like Charles in the same cipher. But here's the kicker. 42 days later from yesterday is April 19th, WrestleMania 42. And whose birthday is WrestleMania 42? The guy who took over, his father, his birthday is on WrestleMania 42. I mean, just how perfect it was that I caught onto this riddle. And if I would have looked a little more into it, it would have been pretty clear what was going to happen. Do you see how perfect that is, guys? This is my slide from 2 days ago. And if I add in the two guys, the two supreme rulers of Iran, they fit perfectly over this slide. I mean, all I did was add their pictures into this slide. Simply all I did. Okay, just watch. Here's the original one. Here's the new one. I just added the pictures of the two Ayatollahs into the slide, and you get a perfect riddle for this 42. I mean, I don't even really, and the gematria. I mean, Khamenei equals 42. Both of their names are Khamenei. Both their last names are the same, right? And the country is Iran. So, I mean, just perfection at its finest, just the code playing out as it does. And not just humans' code, but God's code playing out like the beast out of the sea from Revelation, right? So absolutely amazing. And I just wanted to present this to you guys and show you that, as usual, the code plays out, right? But it gets even better because not only was it 42 months after Charles became king and the birthday of, so don't forget, this was actually the birthday. I forgot to add this here, but this was actually the birthday of this guy as well. It was 42 months after his birthday because his birthday was the day King Charles became king, right? So, no, Dab, I think you're misconfusing what I'm talking about. This is God's code, overarching God's code. Am I saying that this is all God? No. But what I'm saying is that there's nothing outside of God's code. That's what these people use, is God's original code to try to make a halfway decent interpretation of that, which is not really that decent half the time. But anyway, the point is, not only was it 42 months after Charles and 42 months after his birthday, if you go from his last birthday and the last birthday of, and the last anniversary of Charles becoming king, it was 181 days from September 8th, right? 2020. I got the wrong thing here. September 8th, 2025 to yesterday was 181 days. 181 is the 42nd prime number. So and look at this. In the prime cipher, his last name, Khamenei, equals 181. So his last name in the reverse cipher equals 42, and his last name in the prime cipher equals 181, and 181 is the 42nd prime. Now, this is all connecting to World War III. Why? Because he's the third supreme ruler of Iran. You guys get it? He's the third supreme ruler. Everyone's talking about how this is World War III. Well, what's World War III equal? World War III equals 181. 181 is the 42nd prime number. Again, this was 180. He became the supreme ruler 181 days after his birthday. So, just perfect, just perfect, really. And I don't even know what to say, just how perfectly it played out, and how the whole thing kind of manifested, kind of the way the numbers were showing. Okay. And Today is 181 days since Charlie Kirk. Oh, that's true. Yeah, today is 181 days since Charlie Kirk's death. That's a good point. Interesting, because Charlie Kirk was connected to King Charles. If you guys remember my decodes about that. But check this out. We got more 42s. I mean, just how more perfect could it be with all these 42s, guys? Look at this. Now, if you look at the father and the son here, here's the son, here's the father. They obviously look like father and son. It's pretty clear. But look at this. This guy, the new prince or the new supreme ruler, he's born on 42 date numerology. If you add his date numerology up, the day he was born, 8 plus 9 plus 9, 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 9 is 42. He was born 181 days after a eclipse, which was on March 7th, 1970. Guys, March 7th. So he was born 181 days after a March 7th solar eclipse, which again, 181 is the 42nd prime number. But again, March 7th, that's the day before he became king or supreme ruler. So that's tied in with it as well. But he's also born 4 months and 20 days after his father, who's born one day before the date 420. And of course, that's Hitler's birthday. And this guy's compared to a dictator like Hitler. But that's 4 months and 20 days between the two is also 142 days. And 142, when you type out the number 42 in gematria, it equals 142. So it doesn't matter how you look at it. 42s are everywhere, right? From the 42-month reign, 42 days to WrestleMania 42, which is the birthday of the father. 42 months backward is the birthday of the son. On that day, the son took over for the mother, right? And then again, 181 days after his birthday and after King Charles' anniversary as king, which is the 42nd prime, World War III, 181, Iran, 42, Khomeini, 181. But now we're talking, look how perfectly this syncs up with the beast, right? Look at this. So the beast was out of the sea, right? Revelation 13:5, the beast from the sea, and there was given to him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and the power was given to him for 42 months. Well, the beast is also connected to the 666. So you got the 42 and the 666. Well, check this out. What are the odds that I was talking about Prince William? I was talking about this guy, right? And the prince, right? Who took over for his father, all about the beast. Look how many weeks is in between the births of the new prince, of the new ruler of Iran and the Prince of Wales, William. Look at this. 666 weeks and 6 days is in between the birthdays of these two men. And here I am connecting Prince William the day before to all of this. And the next day, this guy becomes the ruler. And between them is 666 weeks and 6 days. And if you measure that in just days, you get 4,669. Now, I want you guys to pretend like anytime you see 9s and 6s, you can flip them, right? And that's truly a code that they use. It's truly a code that manifests. So 4,669 days is in between them, like 669, kind of like an upside down 666. But check this out. From Charles' birth to the birth of this new ruler, 7,603 days. 7,603 is the 966th prime number. 966, like 666 upside down again. Not only that, this supreme ruler was born, he became the supreme ruler 699 days after the Great American Eclipse. Now, why am I bringing in this eclipse? We're talking about the shadow prince, like an eclipse, right? The Great American Eclipse. I believe this is the retaliation. Guys, I'm just preparing you. Something is going to happen in the United States at some point. And this Iran stuff is going to lead to that. I'm not trying to be a fearmonger. I'm just telling you, This is coming, guys. There's going to be a FF, I'm not going to say the word, in the United States, kind of like 9/11 at some point, and it's all going to be because of this rule, right? Somebody in the chat saying supreme ruler equals 142. Let me just hit that while he's got that in the chat. Supreme ruler 142. Oh, supreme leader. Okay. I don't know if they call him leader or not, but that's interesting. Supreme leader is 142. Okay. Interesting. Anyway, good connection. But I'm just telling you guys, I mean, how is this not leading to another Pearl Harbor? How is this not leading? Remember, who attacked us on Pearl Harbor, supposedly, right? Who was it? It was Japan. Okay? It was Japan. And who's the one getting attacked now, right? On 9/11 on the Hebrew calendar, as I pointed out many times. It's Iran, which Iran, Japan has the same gematria, okay? 42. And again, we have this same narrative coming up again. And that's why I'm saying I think this year is the year that we get some sort of T attack, right? Maybe not. Maybe it's not this year. I could be wrong, but most likely it's this year. But again, the fact that this guy is born 699 days after the Great American Eclipse, the American eclipse, he's now going against America, right? That's your upside down 666, right? He's also born he became the ruler 99 weeks and 6 days after the Great American Eclipse. So you have all these beast codes, 6s and 9s, all this manifesting. And again, I think this is a big part of it, right? Now, the next number that I talked about in the decode on the 7th was the number 56. And how old is this guy? Well, he's 56. How old is the new leader of Venezuela? She's 56. So we've had 2 new rulers caused by Trump this year, and both of them just happen to be 56 years old. The gematria of Society of Jesus, All-Seeing Eye, 56. Mind Control, 56. But not only is this guy 56 years old, his name equals 56. Okay? So a double whammy for the 56s. Now remember, what did I show in my last decode about the royal family and the number 56? Remember how I showed you Cody Rhodes 2 days before this guy became the ruler? Cody Rhodes, the king, the royal family guy, he won his championship back after 56 days. You guys remember this slide? It was from my video 2 days ago. I showed the 56, right? I said, look, Cody Rhodes lost his championship on Princess Kate's birthday on January 9th, and 56 days later, he won it back on March 6th, 2 days before the supreme ruler, who's 56 years old, became the leader, and his name equals 56. Well, his name equals 56 in the same cipher as royal family. And remember, when Cody Rhodes comes out to the ring, it says wrestling has more than one royal family. That's the line in his song. And I showed you guys already how Cody Rhodes is connected to King Charles. I'm not going to go over that again. And now look at the 3. You notice how I had the 3 here. Who's the 3rd supreme ruler of Iran? It's this guy. He's the 3rd, guys. Just like King Charles is the 3rd, just like Cody Rhodes used to have a symbol where he's the 3rd. It's just crazy because I just did a decode about this 56 and number 3, and 3 equals 56. And again, Cody Rhodes won his 3rd championship, just like we got the 3rd supreme leader of Iran just 2 days later. So again, it comes out perfectly. All right. I mean, really, and Cody Rhodes won King of the Ring in Saudi Arabia last year, which is in the Middle East. Okay. So Cody Rhodes has a huge connection to Saudi Arabia. And so it's no surprise that Cody Rhodes is connected to this guy who's also in the Middle East, right? And again, Royal Family 56, all the 56s, right? Now let's talk about the number 128. 128. Please hit those like buttons. We got 69. We got 197 people and only 69 likes. Again, we made a great call the other day, guys, and it was us. We do this together, and I appreciate you guys, but if you guys want to support the channel, don't forget to hit that like button. Anyways, Prince of Persia. Okay, we're going to talk about, this is crazy. So there's a video game series called The Prince of Persia. Now, Iran is the modern day Persia. So I just got to get that out of the way in case people don't know that. Iran is the modern day Persia. Now, there was a video game series that I don't know if I ever played it when I was a kid. I don't think I did. But it's called Prince of Persia. Now, look how perfect this is, guys. This video game series is all connected to the Iran prince and also to Prince William, I think, as well. But check this out. The guy who created the Prince of Persia series is Jordan. Think about Jordan, right? Jordan in the Middle East, the country, right? Jordan Mechner. Kind of reminds me of Mecca, right? Like Mecca. Jordan Mechner. He's born on June 4th. Okay? We're going to talk about that in a minute, but I want to talk about the 128 for a minute. So they're calling this guy the Shadow Prince. And in Bacon's simple gematria, Shadow Prince equals 128. Well, his real name, Mojtaba Khamenei, equals 128. Now, the creator of the Prince of Persia video game series has the same gematria. Jordan Mechner, 128. Now, Prince William, he has a 128 connection because he was born on 21st of June, 1982. If you add up his numerology, 21 plus 6 plus 19 plus 82, it sums to 128. Okay, so, but check this out. Look how perfect this is, guys. This just shows you how much of a matrix this is. So the prince, the Shadow Prince of Persia, was born 20 years and 26 days before the original Prince of Persia video game released. Are you coding me? And what year did the Prince of Persia become the king or the ruler? In 2026. What are the odds of that? But remember, I told you the creator of the Prince of Persia series is Jordan Mechner, who has the same gematria as this guy, right? But check this out. Jordan Mechner's birthday is June 4th. And this guy who just took over for his father. Now, when did his father take office for Iran or Persia? On June 4th. That means the father of this guy took office as the second leader of Iran on the birthday of the guy who did the video game series, Prince of Persia. Are you coding me? Like, how much more perfect is that? We're literally talking about Persia here. The creator of the video game series, Prince of Persia, his birthday is the same day that the last ruler of Iran took office on Iran. But check this out. That year that he took office, the father, Ali, that was 1989. That was the 25th birthday of the Prince of Persia guy. But what if I told you that the game that this guy created, which this guy came out on, that became the ruler on his birthday, this guy became the ruler in 1989. And when did the Prince of Persia game come out? In 1989, the same year. And what if I told you it was 121 days from Ali Khamenei becoming the supreme ruler to the video game Prince of Persia? 121. Why is that a significant number? Because the guy who created the Prince of Persia, his name equals 121. And the guy who just became the new ruler, the son of this guy, equals 121 in the same cipher, guys. What are the odds of that? Not only does he have the same, did he take over on the birthday of the creator, he actually took over in the same year as the game came out, 121 days before, which is the gematria of the creator. Now, Antichrist equals 121. Revelation equals 121. Okay? And in the 2026 on top of it, this new guy, he was born 20 years and 26 days before the game came out, like the year that his dad died and he became, like, it's just impossible, guys. It's impossible. So I'm just showing you every day that, you guys know by now. I don't have to convince you guys anymore. I know that. There's no convincing needed for most of you. But for the new people, I hope that people are like saying, okay, I live in some sort of construct that maybe I should just be a little bit more aware. It's not like every one of you guys has to follow every number every day like I do. That's my job, I guess. Not all of you guys are destined to be, I guess, what I am. I guess my name is Cody for a reason, right? I'm meant to look at the code. This is my calling, guys. This is what I feel God has called me to do. But not everyone is called to do this. Not everyone is called to sit down and look at numbers all day. This is what I enjoy doing. This is what I feel called to do. At one day in my life, this might not be what I do anymore because I don't think it's always going to be my purpose. But right now in my life, my purpose is to share the code with you guys and build a family too. My purpose really is not to look at the code, but to build a family of people that I enjoy, that enjoy listening to me. Thank God I have people that like listening to me. And I'm so blessed. And guys, I'm not perfect, but I'm just trying to do my best in this world. And I know that there's many things going on in the world. And I know everyone has their own lives, and numbers are not everything. But the point is, that's what I'm here to do, is to show you what's going on and what I see. And yeah, this stuff just gets crazier every day. But check this out. So there's a video game series called Prince of Persia, right? We just connected the first Prince of Persia game, right? But the Prince of Persia is a whole series. And if you look, there's many games. There's the first one that came out in 1989. There's the second one called Prince of Persia 2, The Shadow and the Flame. But if you scroll down here, you're going to see a very interesting title for this Prince of Persia. Let me see if I can find my thing again. It's called Prince of Persia, The Fallen King. So look how perfect this is. I mean, this is just absolutely one of those other undeniable connections that I had to show. So from the Prince of Persia, the fallen king, like this guy was assassinated and he became like a fallen king. From the day that movie came out to the day that he fell was 17 years and 89 days. 1789 is the 278th prime number, and the name of the game sums to, in the most basic English gematria cipher, the name of the game just happens to sum to 278. Guys, that's the duration between the game and the fallen Persian king. I mean, what? This is literally what happened. He fell. He was the king that got taken out. 278 prime duration between the game, and that's the gematria of the game, 278. Again, 1789 is the 278th prime number. So when I saw that, I was like, wow, there's really, I could have went through all the different Prince of Persia games and made all kinds of connections for you. But I thought that these two slides prove that, again, this is stuff that's planned and constructed in this reality many years ahead of time. And all this stuff is connected. So I could have went through all the games, the Prince of Persia games, and probably found lots of other connections, but I just stopped there because I've proven my point at this point. And again, now the question is, I want you guys to pay attention now. Now the question is, how does this death or how does this appointment lead us to the date that William will become king? Okay. So let me recap this. The March 7th date, I came out and I said, there's a whole 42 riddle here with King William becoming king, and it's all tied to the date March 8th. And on March 8th, we got the prince becoming the ruler. So now the question is, how does this date connect us to the next date of when William will become king? Okay. So anyone in the chat that has a connection, that has any information on what they see from this, I'm pretty much sure we could hone in on the date. If we use this event from yesterday, I know we could find out probably somewhere when William will take over. Okay. Again, the article I read the other day said it's going to be within the next year. So, I mean, maybe it's not actually going to be within the next year. It might take longer, but it seems like that's a good time frame in the next year sometime. Remember, the whole Super Bowl was connected to William and the number 42, right? The 42nd state. I already showed this yesterday, or the other day, British. And again, William was in Saudi Arabia on the day of the shooting in British Columbia and the Super Bowl parade in the 42nd state, Seattle, okay? King County, 42nd state. William was in British Columbia, or he was in Saudi Arabia, okay? So this was the clue, guys. This right here, right before all this went down, right around the Super Bowl, this was the clue for the whole Saudi Arabia, Middle East, Iran stuff, and all the king stuff. William was the clue going to the Middle East, okay? So we've talked about all this. Now, there is people in the chat talking about Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal played in the Prince of Persia movie. So they did make a movie. And you know what's interesting about this movie? Do you guys remember how I showed you the do you guys see here where I showed you that between the days between King Charles and the new leader of Iran breaks down to 966 prime? Check out the gematria. If I can find it here. Hold on. Check out the gematria of this phrase. So this is the name of the movie. I'm not sure what cipher it was in now. All right, so it's in the prime cipher again. The prime cipher seems to be being used in this decode a lot. So I have a couple prime ciphers. But look at this. The name of the movie, Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, equals 966. Well, that's an interesting number because that's a number I talked about, because that's the amount of days right there between Charles and the new ruler of Iran. Think about it. The sands of time, like your time is up. The whole movie sums to 966, which again is the exact. Again, this is the date duration between Charles and the new ruler. It breaks down to 966, okay? So I just thought that was interesting, and I'm pretty sure that's not a coincidence, considering all the other connections that we had. Now, Jake Gyllenhaal was in this movie, and again, Jake Gyllenhaal, we just had but look at where this movie was released at. It was released in London. Its premiere was in London, even. How many movies get premiered in London? I mean, not many. I don't see many movies get premiered in London. In fact, this movie came out in the United Kingdom and London before it came out in the United States. So, yeah, I've heard that Queen Elizabeth is connected to Islam. I can't remember what I read once, but I read something about that. Please stop fighting in the chat about, okay, first of all, I don't know what these people are talking about. You guys are the chat has become it's going overboard in the chat here. Yes, every knee will bow to Jesus. Jesus is the King of Kings, the real King of Kings, right? So we know that all these kings on earth are all part of the beast system. That's why I'm talking about the beast system. Okay, this is not I don't care what king you're talking about, the Christian king, the, the king of England, the king of Iran, the ruler of the United States. They're all part of the beast system. Okay, this is not the true system. Okay, the world we live in is not God's true kingdom. Let's put it that way. And again, just going back to, for people in the chat that are, I just needed to address that in the chat. Going back to the Prince of Persia, the Prince of Persia is, again, featuring Jake Gyllenhaal. Maggie Gyllenhaal just released a movie a few days ago called Frankenstein, or what was it called? The Bride. I was looking into this movie and was going to do a decode on it. But, you know, Jake Gyllenhaal was just in a movie that came out. He was in his sister's movie, Maggie Gyllenhaal, called The Bride. And, of course, The Bride, this is all connected to the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church considers themselves the bride of Christ, which is not really what the Bible says. That the Catholic doesn't say anything about the Catholic Church being the bride. But the Catholic Church does consider themselves to be the bride. And if you type in the words the bride, also I wanted to mention this, Prince of Persia, the Sands of Time equals 141, like World War III equals 141. It also equals 156, like World War III equals 156. It also equals 444, which is also a huge number, and 312, which is the amount of votes that Trump got in the election. So this movie has a lot of huge gematria. Anyway, The Bride, right? The Bride equals Catholic. Check this out. So they released this movie just a few days before all this happened. And again, if you look into it, the Catholic Church considers themselves collectively to be the bride of Christ, and the bride equals Catholic. And this movie, The Bride, now think about who the bride is. The bride is of Frankenstein. And think about how Frankenstein comes from Mary Shelley. Trump's mother's name is Mary, Mother Mary. Frankenstein is Frank. Now, going back to my original connection, how does Jake Gyllenhaal connect to Frank? Well, Frank the Rabbit in Donnie Darko. So Frankenstein is connected to Frank the Rabbit from Donnie Darko. I have no question about that. But this is the modern day Prometheus, right? So anyway, the only reason I got on this tangent is because just a few days ago, they released this movie called The Bride. And notice that this movie came out on March 6th. That was the day that Cody Rhodes became the champion again, which I already tied into this, to this. And the guy who plays in this, the Frankenstein, his name is Christian. You guys see the like the bit of mockery there? The guy who plays the monster, the Frankenstein, his name is Christian Christ. So, I mean, and look at the headline. It says, "Here comes the mother effing bride." So, yeah, I mean, the mother, right? Again, Mother Mary, the woman who wrote this is Notice this how this might connect to Elvis Presley. We talked about Elvis. Shout out to Garo from Jurassic Liars. The woman who stars in this name is Jessie, like the twin of Elvis was Jessie, and she was in The Beast. Guys, look at this. This woman who just starred in this movie, she was in a movie called Beast. Are you coding me? So yeah, just another interesting connection. She's Irish. She's 36. Oh, wait, she was born in 1989, guys. So the woman that just starred in The Bride, she's born in 1989. That's the same year that the former supreme ruler of Iran took office. That's the year that The Prince of Persia came out. I just talked about that. So yeah, even she has that 1989 birth year. She was in War and Peace. So, you could probably do a whole decode on this actress. She was in War and Peace. She was in The Beast. And what have I just talked about the last two streams? I've been talking about The Beast. I've been talking about the war in Iran. And I also talked about the mother stuff recently. Yeah, so Jessie Buckley. I don't know if you guys want to look into her more for all you decoders out there. I will leave that decode for another day, but I will just run her gematria real fast. Oh my gosh. Jessie Buckley equals Prince of Wales. Look at this. I've been talking about the Prince of Wales, William, and Jessie Buckley equals Prince of Wales. So I don't know how that fully connects, but considering everything I've been talking about with Prince William and all this stuff, is it a coincidence the actress name equals Prince of Wales in two ciphers? Also equals England or United Kingdom. Also equals 146 and 205. Anyway, I just got off topic because I was talking about Jake Gyllenhaal, and Jake Gyllenhaal connects to The Bride that just came out, which is, again, he was in that movie. Maggie Gyllenhaal, his sister. She was in Donnie Darko as well. But here's one last thing that I need to put together. Look at this. So on March 6th, the same day The Bride came out, and just 2 days before the new supreme ruler, an actress died named Jennifer Runyon. And look at what movie she's famous for being she's famous for. Charles in Charge. Are you coding me? So this actress, I didn't do a whole decode on her, but are you coding me? At the time I'm talking about all this Charles dying stuff, an actress dies who's famous for the movie Charles in Charge. Yikes. I mean, I don't know. I have to look. I have to look more into this, but I just saw this pop up on Zach's stream that he did earlier, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? A woman dies, and she was in Charles in Charge." And Charles, he became in charge as the king after his mother died, right? So, and she died of cancer. I forgot that, guys. Not only was she in Charles in Charge, she died of cancer. And what does King Charles have? And she died at 65, which is also the gematria of Prince of Wales. So she died of cancer. She equals Prince of Wales. She died at 65, which is the gematria of Prince of Wales. She was in a show called Charles in Charge, and she died of cancer, and King Charles has cancer. Again, Zach already talked about this in his stream, but I already talked about Charles being connected to cancer because yesterday was the birthday of James Van Der Beek, and he just died of cancer. Oh, and I get it, guys. Cancer is ruled by the moon. And the new ruler of Iran was born in 1969. Hmm. What supposedly happened in 1969? The moon landing. So there's a whole moon riddle here. Cancer ruled by the moon. She's born in 1969, or this new ruler is born in 1969. The symbol for Cancer is the 69. Cancer symbol. This is why the moon landing happened in 69, guys, because the moon rules 69 Cancer. Again, this woman just died of cancer, okay? 720. So let's see how many days after the moon landing this guy was born. He was born September 8th, 1969. And the moon landing, of course, was September or January 20th, 1969. Oh, how about that? 1 month and 19 days, or 50 days. He was born 50 days after the moon landing, or 1 month and 19 days. So you got the 119 code in there. There's probably something with there's probably something with the 51 days even as well. I'd have to think more about that, but the point is he's born the same year as the moon landing. So, yeah, I'm going to go into the chat because I know there's a lot of other things I could say, but I'm going to go into the chat, see what you guys are saying real quick. Morgan's in the chat. What's up, Morgan? Masons have Cancer as the keystone or the cornerstone. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, let's look at that. We're talking about King Charles, which connects to Masonry, right? The keystone. So you have this, as we've talked about before. I mean, many channels have already talked about this. I know Sean Desad talked about this a lot. I know all kinds of channels talked about this. The keystone is the 69 at the Cancer position, right? So, and just think about how, 1969, the moon landing, Cancer ruled by the moon, Freemasonry, the Royal Arch. Think about how it's called the Royal Arch, like royalty. So, let's see. Oh my gosh, Royal Arch equals William V. I'm intrigued by that. So let's think about this for a second. William, who will become king eventually, he's born in Cancer, the moon, where the Royal Arch has the Cancer. And his name, if he becomes king, he'll be William V, which equals Royal Arch. Okay. Interesting, huh? Sorry, I think I left a comment up here. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully you guys can see that. But check out the 101 here. The 101 is a perfect number as well. It's the two pillars and it's the circle in the middle. Rambo and I have talked about this with Sirius. This also connects to Sirius. All this stuff connects to Sirius. I just decided to take this another route. I could have talked about Sirius, the whole decode maybe. But yeah, I mean, Royal Arch equals William V. So I'm gonna have to look more into that. I mean, technically, on here they're calling it the Royal Arch, but I mean, Royal Arch equals the Royal Arch equals King Charles, and so that's interesting. So it's so crazy sometimes. The Royal Arch equals King Charles, and Royal Arch equals William V. So you're getting similar gematries here. Let's just see what Masonic Royal Arch equals. See, I'm getting off on a tangent here. Oh man. Yeah, I'm off. I'm way off on a tangent now. I am absolutely need to reel it back in here. Shout out to Dr. Savage in the chat. Make sure you guys go subscribe to his channel as well. Dr. Savage 84. Head of the Grand Lodge is HRH Prince Edward, Duke of Kent. Huh. And don't forget what just happened with Andrew as well. Andrew just got arrested. So, and isn't it perfect though, guys, that Cody Rhodes beat Drew McIntyre? I just did this the other day. Cody Rhodes, he beats Drew McIntyre just right after Andrew gets arrested, and Cody Rhodes is King Charles, and King Charles has to put down his brother. That's what this is symbolic of. Do you see how wrestling is literally playing out the world events? You have Cody Rhodes, who's King Charles. His brother, Andrew, gets arrested. And then a few weeks later, Cody Rhodes wins the championship from Andrew, almost like saying Andrew gets put down, right? Like, again, it's so clear what happens with these wrestling skits, right? Anyway. And you know, when Drew McIntyre won the championship, he put Cody through hell, right? Like they've been saying that Andrew's putting King Charles' reign through hell, right? So it's just a perfect code, as always. Let me see what else we got in the chat. We're almost to an hour. We're going to cut it off at about an hour and 10 minutes or so, hour and 5. Who's King Charles' cousin? That's right, the Arch in St. Louis. Well, who's Cody Rhodes? Oh, guys, who's Cody Rhodes facing at WrestleMania? Cody Rhodes is facing Randy Orton at WrestleMania, and Randy Orton is billed from St. Louis. See, he's billed from St. Louis. So there you go. You got a riddle with the Arch and Cody Rhodes and Freemasonry. I've already showed how Cody Rhodes is connected to King Charles and Freemasonry. Let me just show you guys this. Let me show you again why Cody Rhodes, the main reason why Cody Rhodes is King Charles and Freemasonry connected. So you got the royal family connection. You got the CR, right? Charles Rex, King Charles. If you go from King Charles' birth November 14th, 1948, to Cody Rhodes' birth, June 30th, 1985, you're going to see that the amount of weeks between King Charles and Cody Rhodes is 1911 weeks. Okay, this is Cody Rhodes and King Charles' birthdays, right? 1911, okay? So what's up with 1911? Sorry, I need to take this comment down again. These comments, I always forget to. All right, so ancient and accepted. So we're going to look at the ancient and accepted Scottish rite of Freemasonry. Remember, Cody Rhodes just beat the Scottish wrestler to win the title, right? So we're going to take a look at the ancient and accepted Scottish rite. And we're going to take a look at the very important Latin cipher. And you guys will see that ancient and accepted Scottish rite of Freemasonry sums to 1911. Okay, 1911. And what is the date duration between King Charles and Cody Rhodes? 1911. I mean, again, I did a whole video about this. This isn't even the only thing, but I did a whole video about this, okay? But this is why Cody Rhodes is the Freemason, and just look at his Cody Rhodes jacket, you know. I don't know what you actually call this, what this is actually called, what this type of jacket. But it's definitely a Freemasonry thing. Like, just look at it. It's like a general Freemasonic general. But this is no doubt in my mind why this is. You're never going to see another guy in WWE wearing this type of attire. This is the specific thing, right? Rhodes Scholar. That's right. Yeah, it also connects to the Rhodes Scholar. But this is why people hate Cody Rhodes right now. If you look it up, everyone hates this right now. Dislikes. So ever since Cody Rhodes won the championship, everyone hates him. So they're turning on him, right? They're turning on the Golden Boy, which I believe is kind of symbolic of Trump, because Trump's also connected to Cody Rhodes. Trump's the American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes is the American Nightmare. But again, America came from Britain, right? So it all connects. Anyway, there's this whole thing going around the internet right now about how they hate Cody Rhodes because he beat Drew McIntyre. So I don't know. I'm just giving you an overview of that quickly, just to refresh people's minds about what's going on. But again, the Royal Arch is in St. Louis. Cody Rhodes facing the Viper from St. Louis. Let's see what you guys are saying. We're going to wrap this up in 5 minutes, guys. 5-minute warning. 24% approval of the Iran war. Sounds like Cody Rhodes. His jacket is called American Nightmare, is it? Well, his nickname is American Nightmare. You know, I need to do a whole decode on how Cody Rhodes is connected to the Rhodes Scholar. I guarantee you guys, I don't know why I've never done that, but I need to do a whole deep dive into Rhodes Scholars. You know, and then, of course, yeah, I mean, and even Cecil Rhodes has the same initials, right? CR, King Charles initial, his cipher is CR. I think there's got to be. Oh, okay. Yeah. And notice how Rhodes equals 69. You guys see that? You see how Rhodes equals 69 and 33, the Masonic number, but 69 is the Royal Arch. The 69 is the keystone, right? And of course, you got the Island of Rhodes. You got Cecil John Rhodes. Yeah, I need to look into this. I just never gotten around to this, but I think this is on my. What do you guys think? A decode coming soon about Cody Rhodes and the Cecil Rhodes. Oh my gosh, look at that. Another 101. Cecil Rhodes equals Royal Arch again, and 56 again. We know how big the 56 is. Society of Jesus 56, Mind Control 56, the C virus 56. Guys, I have a decode. Do you guys understand how big? I see you guys in the chat talking about the Ides of March, and I think that's going to be my next decode. I'm not sure you guys are aware of how big this year is with how it aligns with Trump and the Ides of March this year. But definitely look out for that decode. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe we'll do a decode tomorrow on the Ides of March. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or not, but tomorrow's the 69th day of the year. That's a good point. Guys, yeah, tomorrow's the 69th day of the year. Wait, Ides of March equals Cecil Rhodes? Does it really? Oh, wow. Interesting. Interesting. Let me just go back to this one. Cecil Rhodes, Ides of March. Huh. Guys, March. The arch. Did someone else already say that, or did I just did I miss what you guys said about that? Or did I just did I just notice that? The Ides of March, like the arch? It's the M arch. So, but what's up with that? Cecil Rhodes equals Ides of March. How did that has to mean something? You guys know there's always a connection, especially when you get a 4 out of 4 cipher match. What does that mean, man? Cecil Rhodes. He died in March. Man, it would be crazy if he died on the Ides of March, but he died on March 26th. Rhodesia. Let's just oh man, I'm gonna have to do a decode on this guy. He died in March. His name equals the Ides of March. He has the arch, the royal arch, which also equals, I mean, they all equal 101. Again, 101 is the pillars, okay? 101 is the pillars of Freemasonry. So I want you guys to picture the number 101 being the two pillars, and the circle is the eye, right? Sirius. This is Sirius, and the blazing star. So as Rambo has mentioned, Sirius is 101, and 101 is the pillars. Now, when you type in Royal Arch, it equals, so this is the other symbol for Freemasonry. Royal Arch equals 101. This is like the pillars, right? But again, we have all these other things. And you guys, I did a decode a while back called, it was going to be about Alter Bridge. Now, my favorite band growing up was Alter Bridge. And I know that this Alter Bridge, they also equal the same. So, because I've looked into this band a lot, because Alter Bridge is my favorite rock band, and look at how they have the same gematria. They just released an album this year on, wait a minute. They had an album called Pawns and Kings. But they just released this album this year on January 9th, guys. That's what it was. January 9th, that's the same day Cody Rhodes lost the championship. But look who does the music for this, who produces the music. His name is Michael Elvis Baskett. But yeah, if you've never seen this band, guys, this band, it was one of my favorite bands. They're so deep in their symbolism, man. They have so many deep, I mean, all bands do really, but the guy on this band is named Mark. Mark. And Miles, okay, so the singer of this band is Kennedy, okay? And I've shown before, he was born in 1969. But yeah, his name is Kennedy. This connects anyway, I'm getting off on a really big tangent here. This is not where I wanted to go with this. The point is, I was just looking at the similar gematria. I think their first album was called One Day Remains. Yeah, anyway, I have a whole bunch of decodes on that I'm not going to talk about now, but the point is, we're just looking at gematria. So we are at an hour and 13 minutes. Yeah, yesterday was women's March 8th was National Women's Day. Yes. Jessica says Cecil Rhodes died exactly 84 years after baby Jessica was born. Wow. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna save this decode I have for the Ides of March this year for the next video. You guys are gonna be pretty mind blown when you see what I found today. I found this today. March 8th was Commonwealth Day? Really? Hold on. March 8th, Commonwealth Day. Oh, it says this year, March 9th. Today is Commonwealth Day. March 9th. Next year, in March 8th is Commonwealth Day. I don't know what that even means, but Commonwealth of the Nations, often referred to as the British Commonwealth or simply Commonwealth, International Association of 56 member states. 56, guys. 56 states, huh? Anyway, you guys are gonna get me off on a. You guys are gonna get me off on way farther than I want to go here. So it's also National Crab Meat Day. Okay, well there's your cancer connection. Crab, like crab is the. Huh. Interesting. States like Virginia, yeah. Virginia, Commonwealth state. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. And again, don't forget to hit those like buttons. Let's get to 200 likes if we can, if it's possible. If not, it's okay. Make sure you guys go hit the like button for all the other great decoders as well. Not just for me. It's not just about me. We're doing this together, guys. This channel is our channel, not just mine. I mean, I know I do the channel, but we're all in this together. So thank you guys so much for being here. And if you want to support the channel, buy me a coffee. I also got that as well for all the people who'd like to support. That's always greatly appreciated. I know it's hard times right now. I'm in Albania, where everything is kind of cheaper, but not everything's going up here as well. So, but yeah, I hope you guys would have a great rest of your day out there. I will see you guys tomorrow. We have the Eye to Eye podcast, and we'll see you guys then, I guess. And until next time, God bless. Take care.